This is part 2 of a 4-part series about my trip to Spain, Costa del Sol. If you're not familiar with Costa del Sol, or maybe you're just interested in finding a warmer place to live or even visit for travel, then you're going to want to check out these videos because I'm going to share with you in 4 parts how I went from Uganda to France to Azores, Portugal to Spain and back home in Uganda. So in the first video, we broke down France and specifically Chessy area where Disneyland Paris is. And I gave you some reasons about that. So if you want to go check out that and those insights that I shared, why I chose that area, you can definitely do that in the previous video. This video, I'm going to share with you about how we went from Chessy, from France, over to Azores, which is the motherland for me. And it's where my family comes from. We landed in France and we spent a week at Disneyland Paris. Then from there, we flew to Lisbon, Portugal. And I know I have quite a few Portugal fans and followers that are always interested in Portugal and, you know, checking it out, visiting, and, you know, maybe moving there. If you're not familiar with these islands, they're in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean. You should definitely check them out at some point. There you go. You got the North Atlantic right there. And there is a cluster of 9 islands right here. And this is the largest island, called São Miguel, also known as St. Michael. And this is where we land. Now, the 9 islands and the flag of the Azores is right here in the back, the one with the blue light behind me, if you're curious to what that flag is. So we would land right here over in the airport area, right here. I think it's a small airport, but they do a great job at landing on this small strip. I'll tell you that. So here is the main, let me just do some layers here. Here is the main capital city called Ponta Delgada with the Marina Bay here. And my buddy's restaurant right here. Give him a little plug, check it out. If you ever get over here to the island, you're going to want to check out my buddy's place right here. It's got some great local pastries. Wow, Google Maps does pretty well over here, doesn't it? So it's got some great food, great pastries, and it's actually right here. Actually, they have redesigned a lot of this area recently, some upgrading, definitely. My old office used to be right here. I used to have an office right here. I think it was one of these. I had an office overlooking the window at one time, and then I moved it on the inside, and we changed that. So a little bit of this has changed recently. Obviously, this looks like it's around Christmas time. This photo was taken last year of December 2024, so almost a year ago. And this has definitely upgraded. Across the street here, we have the marina. There's a boat. There's actually 2 marinas. There's one on either side of this area. I won't go that way right now, but I did want to take you down here to the famous landmark that most people know this area for. And it's called Portas da Cidade, which means gates of the city. And typically, it usually does a nice little, what do you call it? 3D view. Here's a 3D view of, oh, really? Okay. Looks like, you know, so actually, let me tell you a little bit about this. So what they're setting up here, because this was for December, they're setting up these little Christmas time shops. Now, have you ever been to Europe, or if you've never been to like the Christmas time season in Europe, let me tell you, it is a fantastic time. It is cold. I will tell you that. It does get very cold. You get to see the little Christmas shops that they have. And one time I was in Germany, and I think it's called Gulig. I forgot what it's called. Actually, if you know what it is, there's a drink. There's a drink that they serve. I forgot the name of it, but it's really good, and it's a common drink. And then also, I think I've been to Prague, Christmas time, Germany. There's a few other ones. This photo is from June 2021, okay? And the other side is from 2024. So the cool thing about some of the newer changes down here in the city is they have put more stones down here, and now cars are not permitted to walk. Cars are not permitted to drive down here anymore. So it's all walkable space. But this is the famous gates of the city. And this is basically the downtown, the famous church, which is already redone and rebuilt, and it's looking nice. All this, there's no more cars allowed down these roads. They've changed all this up a little bit. So although the photos are a little older, still a lot of upgrades in that European style. This is where it all started. This is where the family's from, and it's a very small island, but let me tell you, it's absolutely stunning, absolutely beautiful. This is, if I zoom out here, you're going to see a whole bunch of land. This is probably the most beautiful part of the island, in my opinion, which is called Sat Cidades, which is basically known as the Seven Cities. I have some hearts here. These are some of my favorite spots. Some of them are actually not on top of the mountain. Let me go to the famous one. Those are my little secret spots, by the way. So I put some hearts there on my Google Maps because they're like little secret areas that, you know, that I've gone to and maybe hiked down or trekked and stuff like that. But let me give you a view here. This is from last year, actually, August of 2024. By the way, great time to go is in the middle of the year. The weather's great and you got some great views. I don't know what this is like where this Google Maps car was, but as you can see here, see this road? This road, there is a road. You can take a car or you can walk it, trek all the way around. You see that? See this right here? You can trek all the way around these ridges. I don't think I can street view around up here, but I can. Let's see what I can do. If I can get out of here. There we go. I can't street view it all, but you can see this road that goes all the way around these ridges. It's absolutely stunning. It's breathtaking views, and I have to say that's probably like that's my favorite part of the island. So if you ever visit, or when you visit, I should say, you got to check that part of the island out. It's worth it. Some people ask me, Nathan, how many days should I go? The Azores is marketed as a stopover, so spend a day or two. A lot of cruise ships come into the port and spend like a day. I don't recommend that. I would give it at least 7 days. There's so much to see. There's so much to see and so much to do. You could literally spend an entire day just in this area, okay? For example, you could start trekking the top of the ridges of these mountains, right? So you could start doing that. That's an entire day if you like that kind of stuff. Or if you're not into all that hiking, maybe you just want to stop, sightsee and stuff like that. You could do that, but then you can go down in the valley and there's so much to see and do in these areas. I've never stayed like at an accommodation on this side. It's because it's really just a short drive over to the city, probably like 40 minutes or less. Then by the way, this is all freshwater. And then there's another lake here and then another lake inside of these, like, see these roads? But inside here is these little pockets of picnic areas is the best way I can put it to you. It's like little pockets everywhere throughout the hills that you can stop. There's some that's really convenient. So if you're saying, okay, you know what, I'm just going to stay on the main road and I'm going to like pit stop, bop, 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 and go all the way around, you could do that. But I think that's too fast. I think what's really great is you go down, you get down into like, see that bridge down there, you get down into this little village, you get down, go trekking down here and see the beautiful sights. It's absolutely phenomenal. Okay, it's really breathtaking. I love this view, by the way. It seems like a drone view or something. Actually, this is from this year. Looks like it's April from this year. I don't know if these guys are doing drones or something because I've never seen. It might be because I've never seen an aerial view of this place at all before. But man, the site is incredible. So it must be a drone shot. It must be a drone shot. It's absolutely stunning, which is great. I'm glad they're putting some effort into the island, really. It's really nice. So you have these like little pockets everywhere. And there's, by the way, let me just take you a little bit further, okay? Another great site. You could spend a whole day in Mosteiros. This is another great area. You can chill by the beach. Let me open up some photos for you. I mean, people relocate to this area from Germany, from Italy, France. Some people who just buy maybe their summer homes to be in this area, and it's really stunning. There's some little private beaches along the way. I think I've saved maybe one or two. There's also some trekking. There is a there's a restaurant in this area, another picnic area. I think I got one bookmarked right here. But it's not going to show see, I have it bookmarked, but it's not going to show what it is. But this is one of my little pockets right here. Let me see if I can show you one of my little pockets. Look at this. Now you can sit in this right here. This is one of my little pockets, right? It's not the unique thing is, this is not like a tourist attraction area, but it's like a little pocket that you can find. Now look at this. You see this girl swimming in this like little pool, natural pool. It's incredible. But now you won't find it on a brochure about it, okay? It's like within. So most people would go over here, like Beira do Mar, right? They'll go on that side. Or they'll go to Punta dos Mosteiros. They'll go on that side. But then you got to go down here. Now, by the way, what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave you my list of things to do, personal places that I picked out. Some of them are right here. I have a public list that I share with any of my guests that visit the island and stay at my accommodation, stay at my places, and they are able to quickly tap a button and go to these places. So I'm going to put that link in the description. You can use it. Feel free to check out some of my hot spots or I should say sweet spots. But also, there's also some places there that are recommendations. So some of them are restaurants, some of them are maybe big grocery stores in case you need one when you're there, that kind of stuff. So let me see, I have some photos here. This is a really great, cool spot. I mean, as you can see in this photo right here, this guy is like out there swimming. Not something I would do personally. It's funny, like I admire this guy. I admire this guy for doing this. Like when he looks back really quick, I start getting nervous, okay? But I admire this guy. This is how cool this water is. And let me tell you, it is pristine. I've done this like probably 3 times, and that's about it. And that's probably all I'm going to give myself a chance to do it. I won't do it much more than that. But you can see how beautiful this is. It looks like a very calm and still day. Absolutely stunning. And views underneath are, look at this guy. Look at this guy. Great video. Oh my gosh. And I wish you'd do more. But the views are really stunning. I have had the pleasure of doing this a few times in my life. But let me tell you, when he looked back really quick, and I'll tell you, all my childhood nightmares just creeped up behind me. So it just creeped up when he did that. So really great spot. I have a hard time, guys, with dark water. I'm a pool guy. I'll go swimming. Water parks. I love water parks. Water parks are awesome. I look for them. I'm there. I'm there. I'm on the big slides. Thanks to my daughter, Brooklyn, I'm all over it. But dark water, not my thing. I think it was Jaws. You also? Was it you? Like Jaws? Did Jaws have an impact on your life? It definitely had an impact on my life. All right, a few more things about the island. And I'm going to take you over now to the East Coast. Okay, so I do have, this is also, let me tell you, I feel like I could go on and on for hours about all the cool sweet spots. There, you can see I have tagged some of my, like, inside the mountain areas. I have a bunch over here. You can see these are really cool areas. They're not really all going to have photos. Some of them do, some of them don't. But these are really cool spots that are, some of them are public and you can easily access them, and some of them are not. Some of them are, these are basically hot springs, okay? Some of them are not public. All you have to do, or they're not well known, all you have to do is just tap on it and you'll get to those spots. They're little bookmarks that I've placed. And they're really like either good locations, maybe something special off the map, and maybe not a lot of tourists are there if you're in a busy season. So what I want to show you on this side, on the East Coast, is, let's see here, okay, I think it's right here. Yeah, so this is a very famous lighthouse. It's at the edge of the east side of the island. I think there's a video here. So we got someone taking a video here. It's really at a steep incline. You can get to it by trekking down or even with a car. But let me tell you, you got to make sure that car has got some good, maybe 4-wheel drive, or has got some good stability, because it is hard to get up and down that hill. It's narrow roads, but absolutely stunning. View here looks like it's raining on this day, but it is actually really beautiful. You can see how the road here, this actually looks easy. It's really difficult. These roads are really narrow and it's really hard to get up and down with a car, but simple to do if you're walking. And this side of the island is not the most intense with weather. If you want to see the biggest waves, if you want to be in the area with the biggest waves, maybe, beautiful sights, surfing. If you like surfing, I'm going to show you an area up here called Ribera Grande. Okay. And here is a very cool spot because you've got the best of both worlds. I feel like this side of the island is great if you really want to be active in the water without a boat. Okay, so you could go to just lay by the beach. You can go swimming in the ocean. You can surf. You can parasail. The wind is a lot stronger on this side. You can do any wind sports, any water sports on this side of the island, as well as they have these really large swimming pools. They've been updated, they're renovated, they're really nice. They've been there since I've been a kid, and they are really, it's really good. It can fit hundreds and hundreds of people, and not still feel congested. And as you can see here, this is like the beachfront. Then you have multiple beaches on this side of the island. This is the north side. So the north side tends to be the weather is a little bit stronger. If the waves can be a lot higher, the waves can be a lot stronger, larger. So if you like to see that kind of action on a windy day, definitely get over to the north side of the island. Okay. All right. So I gave you just a quick overview because these questions come up all the time. Like, Nathan, where should I go and what parts of the island? Again, I give you my recommendation. I would suggest at least a minimum of 7 days a week. But I would, if you want to stay longer, give yourself 3 weeks to a month. It's phenomenal. What's interesting is I'll tell you a little insider scoop here from a local perspective. All my life, I've been around this island multiple times. Before the highway was built, before the roads were tarmacked, it used to be like dirt roads, before there was any fancy hotels. And I feel like when I look at this map, I feel like I've been on the outskirts most of my life, right? So we would jump in the car, as a family, would jump in the car, we'd go all the way around and visit family and friends and all that stuff. And we'd go to like the popular spots. I always remember we would get these big watermelons and we would stop at these different lookouts and we would see some amazing, beautiful sights as we were, overlooking a lake per se. Okay. And like here's one of them. I want to give you a different lookout, So imagine we're up here and we're just chilling, right? So you see this? You're just chilling. And you're in these like little spots and we'd be, busting open our watermelons and having a good time as a family, telling jokes and just hanging out, whether you're overlooking the lake or in the woods, as you can see here. This is an example of what it would be like. It's so peaceful, so calming. However, in recent years, I would say within the past 10 years, I got to spend a lot of time with foreigners from Canada, Germany, the UK, and so many more different Europeans that have come to the island, whether they've relocated or whether they've just visited over and over and over again. And they found these little gems. They would go into the island. They would go to places that weren't so common. They would go to the tourist attractions, and then they would also go not to the tourist attractions, and I would go with them. And then I started seeing and discovering more places than ever before. I was actually more shocked at what was there. And that can happen anywhere, right? When you're in a location and you grow up in a location, you just get so used to and comfortable, used to the location. You're like, yeah, it's over there. Yeah, it's over there. I remember growing up as a kid. I grew up in Fall River, Massachusetts, in the United States, and there was this big warship called the Big Mamie. I forgot what number it was, but literally, I remember from my bedroom up on the hill, we could see the battleship that fought. I think it was World War II. I can't really remember. So. Big battleship, very well known. Tourists from all over the world, from China, from Russia, from Canada, everywhere, they would come to this boat, sleep on it, and tour it and visit it. I mean, hundreds of people, thousands of people every year, and I could see it every day. And I think I went on that boat like once or twice in my life. I could care less about it. It wasn't shocking to me. It wasn't like amazing to me. Why? Because I was so used to it. I saw it my whole life growing up. It was just so normal. It was like, it's there, right? And that's how I also grew up with the Azores or the island of San Miguel. It was just the same stuff over and over again. But once you get a different perspective about the island or the location from someone else's perspective, it changes everything. So what I've done in the list that I'm sharing with you in the description, I shared these unique spots. Some are personal, some are public. And those spots, when you visit, I highly encourage you check them out. Even though they may seem like, well, Nathan, how am I going to get there? Just tap and go. Tap and go, let the car take you, the driver, whatever you're doing. Get there, trek in, move in, follow the signs, use Google Translate, get into these little areas, these little pockets. Even though it may not seem like a tourist area, it's just really incredible. I'm going to share with you one last place that will blow your mind, okay? I'm going to share two more places, but I'm going to make my point here. See, a lot of tourists go to this place called Furnas, okay? Also, it's called Furnas in Portuguese. And there's this park called Parque de Terra Nostra. Now, this is a very famous park because the water is brown from above, but it's actually, if you were to lift up the water, it's clear and it's beautiful. This is minerals that you're seeing, but it's a very clear swimming pool. I've been in this pool twice in my life. It's very hard for me to go into it. It looks a lot of fun, but again, it's dark water and I have a hard time being in this water. I actually would feel more comfortable in this water though, because it's enclosed. It's man-made. It's not like the ocean. So this is not too bad, but it is dark, so it's a little difficult for me. Now, I want to show you, that's a very popular place. By the way, in the summertime, that's a buzzing place. But now I want to show you something. I hope I can find this quick. I pretty much know where it is most of the time. I want to show you something that doesn't have, I think I found it. Exactly. Now, I want to show you something. Man, I don't think I can show. Watch this. See this little pin drop right here? All right, see this Ribeira Grande? I think I just showed you this a few minutes ago by the water. Do you remember those photos I just showed you by the water with the swimming pools? Okay, so you don't go too far from there. It's just up the road. But now look what I labeled this. See how it says waterfall? Yeah, exactly. This place is probably one of the coolest waterfalls on the island. Now, can you find it from here? Not really. Look, I got this one as a heart, but this is a public place. A lot of tourists go here. See that? Look at this. This is like warm thermal springs. Okay, so a lot of people go swimming here. There's nobody in the photos right now, but in the summertime, this place can be buzzing. That's not even what I'm talking about. What I'm sharing with you is not even on the tourist maps, but when you tap into this and you see waterfall. Let me see if I can get a little closer. I don't even know what that is. That looks like somebody's draw a pin over there. Okay. There's a plate. Let me see if I got another one right here. There's another one right here. Okay. There's another one here. Okay. So there's one. And then I'm going to show you another one. Salto do Cabrito. This is not a lot of tourists don't know about this place. Okay. Well, maybe. Oh, wait, man, it's picking up a little bit. Maybe the secret's out. 3,000. 3,000. Goodness. But look here. 100, right? You see that? This waterfall? Let me tell you, I don't even know. There's no reviews. Let's put it that way. Salto do Cabrito looks like it looks like it's growing and recent. 3,000 reviews. Someone made it a national reserve. Okay. This place is getting noticed. It wasn't like that before, but check this out, man. This is such a cool place and it's not common. You won't find it on the tourist guides and all that, but this is water. This place is so cool. There's two waterfalls coming down into this. You can swim down here in this area. Maybe there's some videos of it. And then another cool thing about this place is you can climb up the side of the waterfall. And I don't know what this is. I don't know what this guy's filming right here. You can climb up the side of this waterfall and you can go up and into it. You go into the mountain. There you go, right? You go into it on these steel metal barricades that transport water as well, and you can climb through all this. It's absolutely breathtakingly stunning. And you know what? It's just not popular. But imagine you're walking along the side of the mountains and the cliffs and you're just going through a forest. It's The animals you hear, the birds that are singing, the animals you see. This is a great, here we go. Here's like a portion. I have all these kind of videos in my files, in my drives, and in my library, in my gallery, but it's absolutely stunning. And not many people know about it. That's the reality. It's still, you still have these little secrets, these little secret pockets. So when you download my list, you will get those, and just get in there. All right. So lastly, I wanted to share, like, I know there's a lot of people who are considering moving to Portugal, relocating, and they're considering, hey, out of these 9 islands, what should I choose? I'm going to be honest with you guys. There's 9 islands in the Azores. I've only been to one of them. I haven't been to the other islands at all. One, I don't really have a desire to, because they are really tiny, and I just haven't had the motivation to go. There was one year I was going to go with my family, and then COVID hit. We were actually going to go in December, and then that's when COVID hit. So that just stopped completely, and I never had the desire to go again. I would say if I was to choose like which ones to go to, because there's some that are just so small, there's not much there. There's some that I think they don't even have cars on the island. So I would say Pico, because Pico has this really, as you can see in that photo, has a really large peak, as a large mountain that you can actually trek all the way up. That's a really nice place. Then, I really don't know. I don't want to speak like, I could probably tell you what other people would say are really nice. Fial, I think it's Fial has really, really nice in the summertime. A lot of flowers, I think. So out of these, and then there's Serra. Serra, I believe has a U.S. military base on it. Let me just zoom in a little bit. I think it's over here on this side. Very well known. If you're in the military, or maybe you've been flying over to Europe, sometimes they do land in Serra, and there's a lot of stopovers there as well. So, and they're big in agriculture. So there's a bunch of islands to check out. But again, I just got to give you the honest truth. I've only been on one for all my life, and that's the feedback I can give you. So now, if you're looking at this as an investment opportunity, a relocation opportunity, I would recommend it. It's absolutely stunning. So weather-wise, we could talk a little bit about weather. You're not going to get sun and sunny skies and great weather all year round. I will tell you that. You are still going to get 4 seasons, okay? Sometimes you can get 4 seasons in a day. There's some jokes about that. You get 4 seasons in a day. Well, what does that mean? Sometimes you could be up in the mountains. We always had to move, me and my family always had to move with like jumpers and sweaters and hoods and all that stuff, because sometimes you could be up in the mountains and all of a sudden some clouds pass through and it's like raining and cold and windy. And then 20 minutes later, it's sunny and hot. So that can happen pretty quickly. So you always have to move around with, some kind of jumper or a sweater or something like that. The opportunity and where to invest, if you're looking to invest or relocate, I'm probably going to be a little bit more, slighted in this regard. I'm a city boy. I do like the city. I do like to get out into the nature. But it's not like an everyday thing for me. It's not like I need to live out there. So I like a little bit more access to the city. I like the energy of the city. I'm the type of guy that likes to wake up in the morning and get that little buzz in the morning. I love to walk down by the water, get that, get the fresh breeze and all that stuff. Hit the morning cafes, get into my co-working office and get in there. So I'm more of that style. And then on the weekends, you can easily drive right anywhere in the island. It's really simple to get to. Now that they've put a big expressway and highway in the middle of the island, it's a lot easier. Before, it used to take us hours and hours. So if you're thinking about relocating to, or Nathan, let's say you're asking me, Nathan, where would you live? Where would you choose? I'm going to say, if it's not downtown, in the downtown area, I would say just on the opposite side of the island, okay? Opposite of the downtown, still in the middle. Let me give you an example here. All right, well, kind of in the middle. Like, I feel like the middle is like right here, but a little bit more to the west side. Here's why I would live right in this area towards the left, okay? One, you have quick, easy access to the city. So from this city, the capital, over to the other side of the island is probably a 10-minute drive. No joke. It's really simple. 10, maybe 12 minutes from one side to the other. And then right in this area, where are you? That's not you. Aha, I found it. Right here is probably the most beautiful golf course I have ever played so far in my life. Not that I've played thousands of golf courses, probably, maybe 20, but this is probably the most stunning golf course. And when I was, during COVID, when I was learning how to play golf, professionally, like I, hired a coach and started playing, I said, you know what, I'm gonna do this golf thing, and my golf clubs are actually still there. And it was, I couldn't believe how beautiful this course was. And like I said, I'd been on golf courses before. I never hired a coach until during that COVID season, but I was stunned at how beautiful this course was. And then as I'm meeting people, they're saying, "Oh, this is the most beautiful. It's ranked one of the most beautiful golf courses in the whole world." And I'm like, "Wait, what?" Like, yeah, this is one of the top golf courses for beauty in the whole world. I was just amazed because I just didn't expect it, Again, it's that whole thing of like, it's close to you, you take it for granted. But as I was playing, man, it's really a stunning place. I'm kind of lost for words and a bit speechless. I remember my kids, I even got my kids involved in golf. Every Saturday, they would practice with a coach and they would go learn how to play golf too. It was just a great time. I got to get them back into that. We do a little bit of that here in Uganda, but I got to get them back into that. It was really a great time. Sorry, I got sidetracked, as you can tell. I'm over there just daydreaming about getting back there. So if I was to choose a place, I would say if you look at somewhere over here to Capales, to Fenage de Luge, there's some great spots in Rob de Piche, which means butt of the fish. Pico de Padra. I would say somewhere in this area. There's also Livramento. Koboku is a really nice area as well. It's got some good views up more towards the hills a little bit more. So I would say those sides are probably my favorite sides. However, again, just to be for clarity, they are not fully immersed in nature. A lot of people would probably choose more of the inner, going up in the mountains and living more, maybe to the east or to the west. But those are my things. So even for investment purposes, for investing in maybe short-term rentals, you're probably going to hit the most busiest tourist places that people stay the most. Let me share those with you. Of course, the main city, the main capital city. But then you have these hot springs. A lot of people stay in this area. It's a very popular area. Let me see if I can give you a few photos. It's a very popular area. Most people come and spend, anywhere between 3 days to 7 days here in this area. It's a very calm and soothing and nice area. There's like spa treatments everywhere, hot springs, like outdoor gyms, right? It's just very calming. So a lot of tourists come to this area in the summertime. Let me tell you, it's busy. It's really busy. So you could also buy in this area, and this is like an up and coming area. It's called Povoação. That's another area that maybe is good for investment or to live. I would say more to live, not so much short-term rentals, but more to live in Povoação. Ponta Grossa is also another really up and coming place too, where the city, like I was just about to make note of this, like the bus like has all these stops in this area. That's one thing I remember about this area. So it's an up and coming area. And then there's one more place I would recommend. It's called Lagoa. So Lagoa, there's a DoubleTree. There's a new DoubleTree hotel that's within the past few years, and then there is a really big new public hospital right here. There it is. Yeah, there's a hospital right here. Okay, then there is some right here. There's an Aquafit Health Fitness Club Center. I mean, this place is pretty. I send a lot of my guests here. They love it. They love this place. They think it's like one of the coolest places because it's got indoor swimming, outdoor swimming. ocean swimming. It's got a bunch. It's a whole fitness center. That's my feedback for the Portugal and the Azores. I'd probably do a whole nother video and a separate video, not for this trip, but maybe about Portugal, mainland Portugal, what I like about Lisbon, what I don't like. I'm a bit back and forth about Lisbon and a few other spots that I've been over in mainland Portugal. I will do that probably in another video another time. But so when we left from France, we went to the Azores. We were there for a week. And then the next video, I'm going to share with you our trip to Spain and Costa del Sol. So check that out. The link will be in the description. See ya.